So let me explain. Argensvostholt is a mansion that is south of this tower I speak of, in between here and Valaki. I found a journal in my research, and in this journal it described a silver dragon. He he was disguised as a nobleman. His name was Lord Argenvost. Very rich, as far as I understand. And he used his riches. This is prior to. He takes a deep breath and, again, that concentration. He. This is prior to Strahd being a vampire. He, um, using his riches, he recruited many um, champions of good, and they guarded a repository of evil known as the Amber Temple. They needed to protect this repository. I don't understand the source or the origins of this evil repository. However, this was their lot in life to protect anything from opening this Pandora's box. They were known as the Order of the Silver Dragon. Anyway, Strahd, before he was known as the Lord of the Vampires, also commanded an evil lot, his minions, his soldiers, and they went to war. These soldiers of Strahd and the Order of the Silver Dragon. And Strahd won, fortunately. As far as I can tell by the records, they destroyed the dragon and hacked his body to pieces, stripped him to the bone, and transported all of the remains to Castle Ravenloft as a trophy. Now, the death of this dragon enraged the spirit of Vladimir Horngard. He was the greatest in this order. He led them, and he returned as a revenant. Are you familiar with revenant?
No.
Well, that's young. I'm not sure that you'll survive this, by the way. I just want to make sure you're aware. Uh,
Okay.
Revenants are returned undead with
Oh, good.
um they are they seek vengeance upon those that typically put them to death,
I
and
didn't do it.
they do not rest until that deed is done. So, Vladimir, he returned as a revenant, um, and he wanted to avenge his lord Argenvolt. But he had so much powerful spiritual energy. Remember, this was an order of the good.
Right.
He brought back the others with his energy, the other fallen of this order. And they went on as revenants to kill many of Strahd's soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
However, every time they died, and they did, they died as well, and they would just repossess another body.
So okay, so that's they're a spirit and they can just keep going body to body.
They keep returning until their vengeance
They
is
seek
done,
revenge.
and they have not been able to destroy Strahd. So, eventually, they did get to Strahd. It's only a matter of time. They did kill Strahd, and well, we know that Strahd has become a vampire. That part is missing in the journals. How did that happen? However,
Who done it?
one would expect the revenants at the point where they've achieved their vengeance would have then gone on to rest in peace. This is how revenants typically operate. However, they didn't. And so they were visited by a Vistani, as this legend goes. Um, and um, it was a Vistani seer, and she told them that Strahd is now a prisoner of this place known as Barovia, tormented by the death of his beloved Tatiana and the murder of his brother Sergei.
Oh,
Because he's trapped and never dying, the revenants also cannot rest in peace. The order cannot rest. And so, according to this journal, knowing that they were trapped too, their new mission was obvious: kill anyone attempting to end Strahd's torment.
hmm.
Unfortunately, because they are now consumed by hatred, they've lost all of their nobility. But I have a feeling that if we can somehow manage to talk to them and bring them to our alliance, if we're going to call it that, I'd like to call it that. We can bring them to our alliance. Maybe we can have an army with us to destroy Strahd, using your invitation to get in the castle, which I did not have prior. Assuming this invitation's intent is legitimate. Well, I think then we have a solid chance. Now I've known that I could not take Strahd on by myself. I was waiting and waiting for the proper moment, but I may die before that moment happens. Because I am an old man. I've waited a long time. And Strahd is very active. For one reason or another. And unfortunately, you've told me of this bride. So we have Belyani. You look just like Tatiana. Fortunate. Probably why you're all here. And, well, unfortunately, Esmeralda's probably poking all of the wrong buttons. So, I don't think
I like it.
that at this point Strahd is going to lay dormant for years as I was hoping. So the time is now. So my thought is this. Let me. He pours himself a refill. Let me handle my business. I've already have some wheels in motion. The Vistani. You all, please, would visit Argensvostholt to bring these revenants to. I'm sure they would love to the idea of resting in peace finally and destroying the the one. And at which point, when we have all of the allegiances, we meet back at the tower. Um, and we um enter. We head to the castle. What do you say?